How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Is it too late to buy Solana? Should you go out and pile all your money into Solana right now? We also have Gary Gensler talking about Bitcoin, actually positively talking about Satoshi Nakamoto yesterday. And we also have Jerome Powell making his Fed rate decision. He just gave his speech. I want to talk about all that, including a couple other big pieces of crypto news. So if you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification underneath the video. And while you're down there, a ton of people are trading over on BITGET and on Margex. They're trading Solana, which Solana has gone up 20% in the last 24 hours. So some people have insane gains. If you want to trade on leverage, you can use the links underneath the video to BitGet, or Margex has no KYC, so you can try that as well. And I can see the back end on Margex. A lot of people are trading right now. A lot of people like this price action. And as I said recently, I actually have a long open as well on Bitcoin. I took a couple profits. No matter what, I'm going to be up over 100%, even though I still have a full third of my position still open. It has gone really well. So in case you want to invest, or not really invest, but in case you want to trade and not just invest, there are links underneath the video, and some of them give you a lot of rewards too. So as we can see, Bitcoin doing fine in the last 24 hours, up 0.5%, not doing too much. The whole market is up 0.72%. So we actually see dominance going down a bit here. A lot of people are thinking it's alt season. I will remind you that when you zoom out, this is that 1 hour, but when you zoom out to the 1 day, dominance has gone pretty much straight up. Keep in mind though, we do have these little corrections. So we can go from like 52% all the way down to 49% and then back up. So a little correction here doesn't really mean too much. Now, I will say though, it's really fun to watch because then you get cryptocurrencies like Solana that are doing 21% in a day. Now, I do hold a little bit of altcoins, but the majority of my crypto is Bitcoin, which, again, if you zoom out, it's done well. But there are specific situations like Solana that kind of stand out there because it has done better than Bitcoin. Over the last 7 days, it's up 33% when Bitcoin's pretty much sideways. So if you invest heavily in Bitcoin, this is something that happens. Sometimes you get left in the dust, but take a look at this. This is an awesome thing about crypto. In 7 days, you can be up 33%. In a month, you can be up 100%. This is just like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that. And Solana went from $21 up to $44. And we'll talk about why it's moving here today. Let's take a look at it. First of all, you can see that we're actually up from before the FTX collapse. Solana was up around $40, collapsed all the way down to $8, now ranged, and then broke out. So pretty cool for everyone that has been invested in Solana. And it's interesting too, because when you look at Solana, it's just slightly bigger than Cardano. At least that's what you think when you look at the top crypto list, because it's 7 and 8. But actually, it's about twice the size of Cardano. Almost twice the size. Cardano's 10.5 billion, Solana's 18.3 billion. So the momentum is there for Solana. So a couple different reasons it's moving up today. We've seen a lot of institutions invest in Solana, and I've talked about this the last 6 weeks or so. We've just seen money piled into Solana. I mean, we're talking about $24 million in a week. That pushes up the price. That kind of buying pressure, even on an $18 billion asset, $24 million pushes up the price. And that's one of the great things as well. A lot of people think that for Bitcoin or for Solana or for any asset to go up $1 billion in market cap, you need $1 billion worth of buys. But that's not true. There's a multiple. So when you buy $1 of Solana, it pushes up the market cap by more than $1. So when they go and buy $24 million worth of Solana, it can push up the market cap much higher than that, like a 20x multiple, like $500 million or $1 billion. Now, this is only a couple of the big institutions here. This doesn't show everything that's being bought, but it is something that's important to pay attention to. We also have seen a lot of liquidations. In the last 24 hours, we've seen about $13 million worth of shorts liquidated, which has pushed up the price. That does have a big effect on a crypto that's around $10 billion, having 13 million liquidated. That's where you can get pretty big wicks. And we also have had Breakpoint this week. So a lot of people are talking about Solana, thinking about Solana, probably getting more bullish on Solana. And from what I've seen, it's looked like they've had a huge turnout, which is fantastic. So they're probably announcing a lot of things as well. I haven't seen too many big announcements, to be honest, but just the fact that there are so many people there, I think is really positive. So these all together are pushing up Solana's price. And I want to talk about a couple other big things in crypto and outside of crypto as well. But is it too late to buy Solana? Well, I have a video talking about how much Solana you need to retire. I'll put that on the end screen so you can get an idea of kind of my longer thoughts on Solana. But I've been looking at Solana for a year plus now, waiting for the right time. Now, Bitcoin dominance has been just climbing, and I've tried to hold steady in my conviction, and I've done well so far, that I didn't want to buy altcoins. While this moved up, now there have been a few exceptions to that rule, but I haven't taken a large percentage of my portfolio and put it in any altcoins. I have put like smaller percentages into different altcoins over the last 12 months, but not a huge position like what I want to build in Solana. Of course, if I had known that Solana was going to go up like this, I would have bought. There's no way of knowing exactly what's going to happen. I mean, you could say, well, the technicals will have showed you, but honestly, we ranged so long that a lot of people weren't bullish on Solana. They were just looking at it thinking, okay, it's never breaking out. It's just staying in the same range for a very long time. I mean, take a look at this chart here. Now, before we go any further, I want to talk about partner of the channel, Islamic Coin. So we've talked about them before. A lot of other big YouTubers are partnering with them as well because they have a lot going for them. They've been able to raise over $400 million recently, and they are getting some big listings, including KuCoin as of recently. They also are down here on BITGET as well. So they have a couple big things for you in our community. You can see they're actually up 71% over the last couple days. So they have told me that anyone that's downloading their main wallet, Hack Wallet, will have a chance to win a lot of money. Since they've raised so much money, they want to give a lot back to the community. So they said they couldn't give me specifics, but it could be a significant amount. We're talking 3 to 4 figures worth of their token. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about them, I've talked about them in the past, but let me know in the comment section if you want me to do a full video. They're really trying to resonate with the large amount of Muslims around the world, 1.8 billion Muslims, and they're trying to be the first Sharia compliant crypto that serves the official community of Muslims. So they use the Hack Wallet, HAQQ, to bring in DeFi and some of the needs that the Muslim community has. Now, again, you can download this. I'll leave a link to it underneath the video. As always, do your own research. I'm not telling you to go out and buy anything. I'm just telling you, you should be paying attention to this because they are growing pretty quickly in terms of price, but also in terms of the community. They have a huge community online, and they just have a huge base to pull from without too many cryptos that Muslims can buy as of now due to different cultural reasons. So thank you so much to Islamic Coin for partnering with me on the channel, and let's get back into it. It ranged. Like no one here was saying that this is a very bullish setup. No, it was stuck in this range over and over and over. So I would have liked to get in a bigger position in Solana. Right now, I'm not looking at buying because I hate buying cryptos that are spiking up. I think that that's usually one of the worst things you can do. Now, am I bullish on Solana? Yeah, but I'm bullish on the whole ecosystem. I'm bullish on a lot of cryptos. So I'm not going to go out and pick the one that's spiking the most just because I have FOMO. Now, if we do fall back down, I will look at adding a position. Or if dominance just peaks out. If Bitcoin dominance peaks out to where I think it will go, 56, 57, 60%, something like that, somewhere in this range is where I start buying altcoins depending on the setup. So maybe I'll take a position then, but I wouldn't be running out and just trying to buy Solana just because it's moving up, right? Some shorts being liquidated, some big institutions buying. That shouldn't really change your conviction. That's just my opinion, though. And so far, it's served me pretty well, right? You can miss out on a crypto like this, but you also miss out on the cryptos that have bled against Bitcoin for months. I mean, you could have been really interested in Cardano, and if you had bought really any time in the last 12 months, it would have been a bad decision because it has just gone down and down and down against the value of Bitcoin. That's just my opinion. Not trying to be a downer, but of course, if you are invested in Solana, fantastic for you. You've done a great job because obviously it's gone up so much. Space Force awards a $2.5 billion rocket contract to SpaceX and ULA. So SpaceX got about $1.23 billion worth of missions. This is just coming out a couple minutes ago. Huge for obviously SpaceX, Tesla, the whole ecosystem. Even if you think, okay, how does this affect crypto? Well, if SpaceX is doing better, if Tesla is doing better, it's obviously good for Twitter because Twitter is unprofitable right now. So the more profitable the other companies are, that's great. And Twitter's possibly adopting cryptocurrency transactions because they want to be an all-in-one app here soon. So I think it all kind of ties back together. And if nothing else, it's just interesting to see the way that the future is moving. Subaru also announces that they are going to adopt Tesla's North American charging standard starting in 2025. Obviously, pretty big news there. This is another company that is going with Tesla because they can't create their own charging network. Fantastic news. Obviously, Tesla's just swallowing up the competition in terms of charging. Gary Gensler just posted on Twitter, if Satoshi Nakamoto went as Satoshi Nakamoto for Halloween, would we be able to tell? Happy 15th anniversary to Satoshi's famous white paper that started crypto. Any crypto companies that are tricking investors should start treating them to compliance with the securities laws. This is pretty interesting coming from Gary Gensler, talking about Satoshi in a pretty positive light, I'd say. I think his thought process is probably, hey, Bitcoin is fine, but I don't like all the investors that are manipulating Bitcoin or manipulating crypto. Obviously, though, he has softened his stance on crypto in general. Now, I know some people will give me a hard time for saying that Gensler is praising Bitcoin here, but the definition of praise is to express warm approval or admiration of. And it sounds like that's exactly what he did. Speaking specifically to Satoshi Nakamoto, he said happy anniversary to the famous white paper that started crypto. That's much more dovish than he sounded towards crypto in the past. So honestly, I think this is a pretty big thing. And it's not like he just thought this, hey, happy 15th anniversary. No, he put his name out there and published it on the web for everyone to see at a very pivotal time between the SEC and crypto. So I think this is actually pretty interesting, pretty cool that he did this, and pretty good for all of crypto in my mind. And SEC charges SafeMoon crypto token and its executives with fraud. Obviously, I talked about SafeMoon a handful of times. It's interesting because in crypto, you can make a ton of money. I am friends with someone that made $100,000, more than $100,000 from a small investment, like a few $1,000s in SafeMoon. And it changed his whole life. And at the same time, he knew that this is a meme coin. He knew the risks. So it's interesting because you can still make money in something like SafeMoon or some kind of meme coin. And then bad things can happen later. So you just kind of have to realize that if you're playing meme coins or you're playing some really high risk crypto, everything can blow up. You might be investing in total crap, but you still can make money. So it's something that I think a lot of people that have been in crypto for a while know, and they're just willing to invest in things if they see the potential ROI, not even if it's a long-term investment. So again, if you want to trade, you can check out the link down below the video to BitGet and to Margex if you don't want a KYC. So definitely check those out. You know, I almost forgot to even talk about Jerome Powell's speech. Honestly, it was a bit of a nothing burger, and the last couple haven't been super interesting. Of course, It can change the markets and can change what people think drastically, depending on if he says something super hawkish or super dovish. But he basically said they're not thinking, or they're not even talking about lowering rates, which it makes sense that he'd say that, because even if they were considering it, if he said that, the markets would go crazy. And he said that they have seen a lot of pressure in the markets. What they saw, or what happened last year when they raised a lot of rates, is starting to leak through to the economy. They talked about how housing is being really hurt. But really, it was a bit of a nothing burger. So I'll continue to watch in the future, but I don't think it really affected the markets too much here today, which is kind of nice. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Islamic Coin, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.